We don't know who's introducing. Introduction.
Right.
Welcome back to the classic recap with myself, Leon, and Brad, and we are going to be, as the name suggests, recapping all things classic now. I think we're on a bit of a whim today, aren't we? It's a bit touch and go, really. Nothing planned. There's loads of shows to go over, so we're going to go over Alicante, probably PCA Universe, probably Craig Homer at some fucking point. I know he'll be listening. I have actually spoke to him today and the day before, actually. Yeah, so how are we doing, boys? All good?
All good. All good in the hood. You guys good?
All good. Apologies for my nakedness as well, people. I'm absolutely sweating my bollocks off here. It's 25 degrees down here in London.
You just skyrocketed our views.
Oh, trust me, bro. I just sitting with the traps up like that. Whammed out.
How fucking annoying is it, right, when someone will video themselves on a selfie video?
Yeah.
You know who you are, who fucking watches it.
Oh,
I don't think they'll actually watch the podcast, will they? But
trap. That weren't optimal.
how's Brad? You're about to enter the depths.
Yeah, it's go time again Monday. I'm fucking ready. He's teasing me. He's like, yeah, we're probably gonna add like a little bit of training next week, a little bit of training next week. He's been saying it for like 3 weeks. But he's like, yeah, push it to next week. And I'm like, bro, stop dangling it in front of me. It's just like, nah, you want it, you can't have it.
Are you deload now?
Yeah, deloading this week. So I've been off for 5 days. Had a little bit of a pump session today because I was just fucking bored. I'll probably have like a lower pump tomorrow, rest Saturday, Sunday, because I'm a PCA, and then back to the grind on Monday. Let's go.
It's gonna be so cool. Literally, you and I together. You what?
You.
Hey. What? I was talking over you, sorry, being ignorant.
I said, you're coming in. The face is in.
Bro, every check-in I've done this week, like one extra person has said it, and it's starting to get like, remind me, right, if anyone watching this saw me last year, don't let me fucking shave my beard off until show day. Seriously. It's like, you ever watched Dallas Buyers Club? I look like Jared Leto in that when he's got AIDS, man, and he's just dying. It's not a good look. It's awful. So, yeah, it's coming in fast, man. The trend's been in for about 96 weeks now. And it's a trend escalation model, I think, actually, for myself, which is quite fun.
Boys, is there any way to change this on here? Because I know on the screen, as soon as one of us talks, I know it only singleizes to just one of us. I noticed it on the last video. You see, like, I'm on the green box now because I'm talking. I think we had it
in the top right corner. You will have something called View, and you click on it and press Gallery.
Yeah, it's on gallery.
Yeah, Leon's probably ain't there.
Yeah, mine is too. It's just, yeah, still coming up green though whenever I'm talking. It's only when I watch the last one back.
Oh, I get what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? When I watch the last one back, when you actually watch the video, you can only see one person talking at a time, as opposed to all three of us in the video at the same time.
I think that's because we recorded off mine, wasn't it? I think the Physique Collective one might automatically be set to gallery. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong and it's just doing one of us at a time, apologies, guys. But
no, if it says gallery in the top when you record it, should do it. This is like some real fucking 5 minutes of useless shit, isn't it, for everybody?
We're Zoom.
They're the best kind though, man. Right, should we kick it off? What are we covering, man? What's been the standout show for this week, really?
Alicante Standard was a fucking joke. And also the amount of people at that show as well. I tuned into Callum's live on that, and I think I missed Classic A, but I tuned into Classic B, and there was like over 30 competitors on the stage. It was just fucking ridiculous. And from what I saw as well, like the standard of that lineup, just all round, there wasn't really like anything that you could draw a line and just be like, yeah, you can all fuck off. But there seemed to be like quite a few fridges, which we're going to expect, but the standard, the condition, all look pretty fucking crazy, to be honest.
I think with pro quals, they should change it. I don't know what it's like in other countries, really, but you shouldn't be able to just rock up to a regional and then bugger off to a pro qualify on that. like I understand how much tickets that must sell and how much entry fees that must sell, but man, when you've got to compare like 30 athletes on stage, it's just not feasible really to do it.
Firstly how, because you can see they're just all standing there awkwardly. You can't even like front relax properly because you're just fucking bumping elbows. And then you've got one person standing like to the side of others. Then you start getting the whole nudging. It's just, you got to look at it from like a competitor's point of view, but then also from a judging point of view. Like, how is it even fair? Do you know what I mean? And how is it an enjoyable experience as well?
No, they might, especially flying to another country, man. How many times have you been in a show, right? And if you've not got a look in, you're like, that feels like the worst thing ever. If I'd have at least got a look in, I'd have been sound. But like, there's nothing worse than like somebody coming off stage and then like the judges didn't give me the time of day. And it's probably not really the judge's fault. They're just unable to see you.
Yeah, you got to be pretty fucking good to stand out in front of that many people.
Mm.
Like the fucking busiest show I've been in was the Atlas. It's fucking 17 guys. It was a big one. I don't know how many guys was at the Alicante on the weekend, but they look to be about every single amateur classic guy in the whole of the fucking universe.
Didn't they say 160 classic guys?
Right.
There's a lot of mustaches, man.
That's a lot of mustaches. Yeah, I was about to say that's a shit ton of mustaches, man. And
how many teapots on stage? How many butchered
poses.
The busiest class I've ever been in was I did the PCA. I think it was the second year the PCA had been about, and I did classic. And I did the British, and there's fucking 28 of us on stage at the British because they didn't split the height class then. Oh my god, it was ridiculous. It was like at the Symphony Hall, the ICC in Brum. The entirety of the stage filled with people. It was mad.
Jesus.
The nightmare.
I think the most I ever had was the Olympia Classic at Two Bros, 2021. I think there was 17 in that class.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Nuts. Where did you place?
Sixth.
Sixth.
It's good, man.
Yeah, I was happy with it. First show at Two Bros.
Just out of first call out. That's good, man.
I think I was in first call out. I think there was like 7 or 8 of us in first call out. I competed against Kieran Colbert. Seeing him, I was like, bruh, come on.
He looked good that season, to be fair. That was the same season he beat Golden Era Dan, wasn't it? At PCA.
Was that the year I went?
Huh?
Was that the year I went? Was that 2021?
21, yeah.
Yeah.
I competed against my old coach Vaughan in novice and Lewi Davis as well.
We could have competed against each other, Brad, that year. If we had aligned our season at the right time.
Bro, I thought I was gonna.
Yeah, because I was like more of the beginning. I was right at the start of the season, like first show of the season.
Yeah.
You scared some people in that first time I show you did.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of.
As soon as you did that, everyone was like, "Who the fuck is this?"
A dark horse, it man. Turned up as a dark horse.
I think that's how we started talking. I can't remember if I saw you on Joe's profile or like on like an explore page or something like that. And I remember you doing your garden checking. I was just like, "You guy looks like a fucking statue." I was like, "What is that?" And I was just like, "I'm done. Like, I'm calling it. I'm out of season. I don't want to compete against him. Fuck this shit."
I was hella aesthetic there, man. Hella in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to like leave this podcast next season. You're going into open.
Yeah.
You're evicting me, yeah. Handing me my classic P45.
Yeah, you never had a mustache again.
Jeez, bro. Yeah, but if I can still hit a single bicep, I'm still technically classic.
That's true.
What I mean? Yeah, the classic fridge.
I'm gonna link
Slim line fridge. Right.
Should we have a look at some of the winners? For instance, the guy that won the pro card, he was something fucking special. I also think he was in my height class, or he might look even more hobbit than me. I'm not sure.
I was going to say to you, he's either in A or B. I didn't know if you knew where he was. Where did you send that link?
Hobbit says.
On Instagram. I DM'd it, yeah. I love it when a physique like this wins because it's like it looks wacky, but it's only because it's so nicely put together and in proportion. To get what I mean? Kind of gives you a good feeling when someone like this wins. Javi Senas, IFBB Pro. Oh, screen recording. There we go.
Oh yeah. See this geezer.
Bro, you're brave recording your whole laptop screen.
Can you see the whole screen?
I could when you moved it then, yeah.
I've got rid of everything that I think could be anything negative, but we got rid of the Pornhub and the shop.
Oh,
That's it for today. But yeah, it's got like a small square. Like I don't know if it is recording. If it's recording the whole screen, then enjoy it.
No, all we can see is like his 3 Insta pictures in a row kind of thing. Don't worry. Well, very, very just a clean rig, man. Nice proportions. I like it when judging goes this way, man, and someone wins it in a fridge. Because that was to win in that fucking lineup was just retarded.
Yeah. I didn't see the overall lineup. I saw a little bit of B, I saw a little bit of C, and then that's pretty much all I managed to catch on it, to be honest.
C is usually a little bit quieter than B, but our
this guy's physique is very similar to Lewis Widgery, I think.
Yeah.
If you look at like his front double, his
the
rear shots, that like really 3D through the top line.
comments, people, the best body.
The best body. You're the best. Come on. I don't actually know the words. I think that was right.
I don't know. I was just gonna do that. No.
To be honest, I didn't really see the Toronto Pro Classic.
Neither, man. All I see was just a shitload of shit about Ian and Hazan. People saying that Hazan got robbed.
I really like Ian. I thought it was his best, but I did watch it and I thought he's not winning this, and he fucking did.
I didn't see it. I saw his updates, and obviously he is just mad. Like the level of that side chest is just a fucking joke.
Who Hassan?
Sharper than Hazan, like from the side and from the rear. Ian was sharper, but I don't know with Ian, man. Ian's like back double is just strange. And the calves, bro.
He likes too much in the biceps as well. Like he looks like he's got tries from the side, but he hits the most muscular and they just go. Oh, that kid won at the Toronto Pro, that Sam Paquin. Really, really nice physique. I'll send it you now. B-dub. But what? Send BMW.
We're not being shots because we're talking about him. My fucking laptop is so slow, man.
You not done the Instagram update, Brad, with like the real and large stories?
Mate, like I was talking to someone about this the other day. Like my phone and everything is updated. It's still got so much old shit that just isn't updated.
Yeah, mine does that. My Instagram, like I'll never get like fucking updates through.
So I mean, that top line is just a joke.
The front lat spread's pretty nutty though. I can't lie, it's pretty nutty. But zoom in on the calves.
He's cut them off. He's cropped them.
I cropped them.
So,
Oh no, they're there.
Oh man.
Mad. It just goes to show like calves for some people, like genetically, they just cannot fucking build them.
I don't believe you cannot build them, man.
oh, fuck me.
I used to have literally no muscle. And I'm not a genetic freak like the 1% that are pro bodybuilders, and you can build calves, man.
He's got a nutty physique.
What's up, guys? I just wanted to hop on here and give everyone a
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah, he looks fucking nuts. I didn't really catch much of it, to be honest.
I think he carries more muscle than I think all three of us will ever put together.
Yeah.
Sat here criticizing him, but
everyone used to really rate him about 2 or 3 years ago. I didn't at all because he was so mismatched and his proportions so much better now. I think I like seeing him on throughout the podcast and stuff like that. I do like him and do actually rate his rig, but man, Hassan just fucking annihilated him in every single way. His condition wasn't worse whatsoever. He's hard as nails. I don't know how he lost it.
Oh, right, you said the Toronto winner, so Sam.
It's on home ground for him, isn't it? He's won that show multiple times. Could be in the favour. Because we know there's a lot of politics in this bodybuilding community.
For the sake of our future placings on the podcast, there's definitely not such thing as politics in bodybuilding.
Absolutely
I'm not getting blocked by no federations like you, Leon.
Well, I've been unblocked. Probably not for long now, though. After I've
none.
just
So you unblocked, so he's unblocked.
no, I'm unblocked now, bro. I'm fresh out of pen.
Oh, man served his sentence.
Free man.
Yeah, this guy's good, man. His fucking physique's just wacky. Sam Paquin.
Yeah, you look nuts.
He had a close call last season. I can't remember what show it was at. It might even be this one, I presume, if he is Canadian.
Yeah, this dude looked insane. I see the updates from bodybuilders about borders and buys and tries and sellers and stuff.
Look at that fucking offstage shot there, man, on the right. That's stupid.
Nutty. I think all he needs is the ice on the cake is just to bring the back up a little bit, isn't it? This guy.
Yeah. Put that video on, Brad. I want to see the routine. This is going to deafen us now, isn't it? I don't know whether his condition is like off. It has a rig where it looks kind of smooth. You get what I mean?
It could be the quality there, but the midsection looks like it could be sharper, doesn't it?
Even like down the side of the quads and everything, there's great separation, I think, because of that much good development. But you know, like when people appeal people, like the individual heads of the delts are like fucking crazy. Like the fibers. Yeah. Very clean rig there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty butchered, but you know.
Oh no.
It started off so well.
It did start well.
Yeah, see, I don't think that's lighting. He does look a little bit soft. Like,
Yeah, he is without a doubt.
It wasn't a very competitive lineup, really, in the pro.
It's the shape, though, isn't it, man?
When this weekend went out, we left this fucking podcast till this weekend. We're like, yeah, we've got loads to cover, man. We've got loads to cover. We're like, oh, not that much to say again.
To be fair, there is more shows that we can cover. These I just didn't get a chance to watch any of these. I know
You were at the NFM and stuff, weren't you?
yeah, I had a client at PCA, so PCA older shot.
Oh yes, I forgot about this.
Yeah. Which was an absolutely dead show. There was like 1 or 2 people per class. And then she was in masters, and there was fucking 8 of them. And I was like, fabulous. I mean, it was a very, very good lineup, and she did look absolutely fucking shredded. So
Was that the lady that come over from abroad?
yeah, from Germany.
Yeah.
Literally drove from Germany 3 days before her show. I was like, why did you get a flight? She's like, I just fancied the drive. Who the fuck fancies the drive? That's not
For 3 days.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I can't even drive for 3 minutes when I'm that deep into prep without falling asleep behind the wheel.
Innit? You see her glutes as well, like literally like
Yeah.
shredded glutes. I was like, was that uncomfortable? She was like, yeah, I sat on a pillow. I was like, no shit.
Right, it's
different.
It's starting to hit me now. Like, I don't feel like shit yet, but if I'm out the house past 8 p.m, you better check up on me if I'm not home like 45 minutes later. It's just one of them. I've not gone hypo or nothing, but you know when you've had a fucking long ass day, yeah. And say if you got home and put the telly on, you're like, I can't even understand what they're saying right now. I just need to turn off and go to bed. That's what I felt like a few times. My sleep's been a bit fucked. It's been a bit. But we're getting there.
Pretty
So
good.
since we've gone about the older shot, we need to talk about Leon's big surprise that happened.
Yeah, I got a good surprise. To be fair, like Lewis did look a lot better on stage than I thought he would look at this stage. Because the thing with Lewis is we rebounded him from that natty show, that successful natty season he had. His first enhanced, exposure. And he just blew the fuck up, but stayed the same body composition that pretty much is what he competed at. He just doesn't accumulate fat, man. Like he didn't need too much. Don't get me wrong, we didn't really push his calories up too high because he just doesn't need it. Like you make the smallest adjustment with Lewis and you get the biggest like adaptation. So we just slowly push calories up to a point where he's now just said to me, right, do you know what? I've put on a good amount of size in this time. I want to go again. I think Lewis is one of those guys that has to kind of compete every year. He's still young. I think he still wants to just get on stage, and he loves the presentation part as well, as you see. He loves putting routines together, and it's just good content for him too. So if that's something he wants to do each year, then fair play, like just go for it, man. But yeah, he did message me a few weeks prior to he messaged me a few weeks prior to the PCA and said, bro, what do you think about me jumping in this show? It's like next week or a couple of weeks time. I was like, me personally, if I wasn't 100% ready, I wouldn't do a show. And that was that. And then yeah, he just rocked up and just
rock up, beat
rock up, took the overall,
us, and then won the whole overall.
Yeah.
Because
because it's a good start to the season. Like even if he would have said to me like a couple of days before, bro, I'm going to jump into this show, I would have said, all right, yeah, fair play, just do it for a bit of, a bit of posing practice. It gets you ready for this next part of this season, to kick off. It was a bit like similar to what Heck did. Heck was kind of in condition. He just jumped into a show and took an overall. Seems to be the thing now. We should just jump in shows before we're actually ready, and we might all take overalls.
We've been quiet as fuck. You watch when me and Brad compete. We'll do a regional with 24 people in the fucking class. It'll piss me right off.
So holding out. That's what I'm saying to myself. Like I rock up to a show and I was like, this has got to be busy. Like I thought older show was going to be busy, and then it started like they said, right, you want to get your people behind here around this time because it's running quick, and I was like, yeah, I'm sure it'll get a bit busier. And like 1 or 2 a class, I'm like, for fuck's sake, like another quiet one. Every motherfucker is going to come out in September, 100%.
I think this is one of the years where like a lot of people that went like last year, like seem to be a lot of people going. There's not many people like our age or that I follow that are actually prepping this year or on prep now.
I did wonder if there was quite a few people holding out for like the true athlete in August, but then I've not heard anything about that at all either. So,
well, they're bringing the Arnold UK back now, aren't they? Wasn't the true athlete supposed to be the new version of the Arnold UK?
Yeah. Because I was listening to a podcast and Hollingshead said it. He was like, "Oh, I want to do the Arnolds." And they were like, "Well, US?" And he was like, "No, UK." And then he kind of went a bit quiet. And he was like, they're like, "Is he coming back?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say yet, but it should be coming back." And I was like, "Oh fuck, it's coming back." And then like 3 or 4 days later, it was announced that he was coming back in 2024.
Is that my pal Hollingshead?
Yeah, man. Your G, your training partner.
My mate.
Bro, that training legs was fucking sick.
Mad.
All that magazine, I was just like, that is like spat material. I think I would have
weird because like I feel like I knew him already. Never met the guy, but where I've watched so much of him through like Fuad's podcast and shit, you almost get to know someone before you've even met him. And he was exactly the same as you would think he would be, on podcast, just super laid back, super friendly. And yeah, we just chatted the whole way pretty much and trained legs and chatted through the session. But it was mad experience. Not something you get to do every day, is it? Train with an Olympian.
Is that the first time you've seen him in person?
Yeah. First time I see him in person. Yeah.
I've seen him a couple of times, just had like little like kind of passing conversations. And the first time, he was like kind of hunched over like the side of like half a wall, Kings. I kind of like double took it. I saw him. I was like, "Fuck me!" And he saw me do it and kind of laughed. And I was like, "Oh, well, I've got an in there." And like as I walked up to him, he then just like stood up and he like tripled in size. I was like, "What the fuck?" I remember like shaking my hand and my hand just disappeared. And I was just like, "Bro, I feel so fucking puny right now." It's like just want to crawl into a hole.
So I felt when they was wanting to get their quads out, and I was thinking, "Oh my days, I'm going to look so small."
Bro, you held your own there.
Whip the but I was a little bit closer, stood forward. I made sure of that. That's for damn sure.
Did you do the daddy curl and lean into the shot?
There's a bit of a dope going on there as well,
First time I seen him was when I was working away and I was an engineer and I was on prep. I was literally in South London. My best mate who don't lift, he just worked with me. He was like coming in the gym with me just while I was working away. We went and trained legs at Kings. And he'd never seen any bodybuilder before. And Holly said like was training fucking legs. And like he got a pump off and he's literally training legs in his pants. He's walking around with like a fucking Belgian blue cow. And mate Az was just staring at him like, fuck is that? I was like, mate, stop fucking just staring at him, man. Like it's some fucking gorilla in the zoo.
He's literally built like a gorilla, though. That's the only way to describe James. Like he's literally like an albino gorilla. Like we was upstairs in Physique Warehouse when we finished off with a bit of like ab work, and we got that Cybex VR2 ab crunch. And his like legs were obviously in it, and his calves were just like all the way down to his fucking, like his hamstrings were like folding over his fucking massive calves, and you're just looking like, oh fuck is that shit? Like it just doesn't put things into perspective how big these guys are and how dense they are until you see him in person.
Just
Like,
looks impossible, though. It looks mad.
straight out of the comics, he was looking like
His
nutty.
progress though has been fucking nuts. Like, because he's been competing for a long time. I remember like watching him back like in the UK BFF days, and like he was an impressive bodybuilder then. But if you compare that to like where he is now, man,
Well over a decade now. Well over a decade.
100%. I remember it was back at like my fitness first days when I was training. So it's got to be like 2017, maybe even like a little bit longer.
Mad. Long time at it. Long time at it. Consistency, boys. Consistency, boys. Keep it going.
A lot of drugs for a lot of years and eat a lot of chickens.
There's a lot of dead chickens. Poor chickens.
Yeah.
What we going over next? What we going over next?
What was the NFM like, Brad? Was there anything noteworthy there?
Not in classic. I think there was 2 in classic. That was it.
The one guy that won the classic was one of the guys that did FitX quite a lot. It wasn't the bald guy.
So I think he was in.
Yes, he won. Didn't he win the British?
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
a really nice rig. He's got a really, really nice rig, man.
Fucking has, man. It reminds me of like Bob Parrish, just the way everything put together so damn nicely, from his shoulders to his chest to his arms to his abs. It just looks like a fucking Roman chest plate of armor, man. It looks sick.
He posed quite nice as well, from what I see.
I can't remember his name for
His
life.
name is Rob, but is something? Is it the Prep Viking? Is that the guy? Is that his name?
He looks similar to him though. That's what I was going to say. He looks a bit like him and Andy Paul, but he's not like.
Yeah,
he's
his
got
name's
that,
Rob, I
like-
think.
Bald with a beard. You can't tell them all apart. They all look the same.
Yeah, he's got a very nice physique on him. I think the guy.
Muscly, balded, bearded guys.
He was very, very good. I know he won the FitX, didn't he? It was great.
He was fucking good though. I did see that. You had the guy that won the universe. I forget his name now. Well, he was men's physique pro, handed over his pro status, and then went open.
And he won the overall in the Open, didn't he?
Yeah, he won the overall at NFM as well. He's got his ticket to Atlas.
Who was that? Axel.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe, like, I remember that Axel doing my first timers in 2021. I'm pretty sure he was there doing my first timers as men's physique.
Yeah.
And from
Yeah.
there
Because I think that was the day I seen him. Like, he was stood like in the fountain in Birmingham. Obviously, there's no fucking
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Taking photos, and everyone was like, "What the fuck? That kid's men's physique," and everyone was like, "He's only like 20."
Delts, the fucking delts, the chest from there, because he used to have like the dreads, wasn't it then? And then like I hadn't seen him on Insta. I never followed him. I didn't see him on any kind of socials. Like, and then all of a sudden, I see these shots that you posted in, I think one of the chats of him, wasn't it? And I was like, "Is that the same dude that was men's physique?"
Yeah, because he trains at
Holy fucking primo bone! What has this man been munching?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He
Don't
trains
you wish- well, I was about to say, don't you wish you responded like that? And then I realized Leon's on the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's levels to response, man. Like I had a good little spurt. Now it's kind of slowing down a little bit here, but we'll
You're at
get
the
there.
point now where what Joe says, you have to just double it.
That's exactly what I'm doing now, but I'm feeling as it's kind of slowing down a little bit, I might just triple it.
Triple. Go for the triple.
Yeah.
What else is there to cover, really? I think that's pretty much it with shows. PCA was quiet. Lewis won. Lewis looked fantastic, man. I said to you tonight, I was like, his conditioning is actually fucking on point, man.
I mean, like I said to Lewis when he called me, he was like, the condition he was at there was pretty much a little bit sharper than he was the whole of his season as a natural. you know, and that's only 4 weeks of prep. He's dieted for 4 weeks and he looks like that, and we've not even pushed him hard yet.
How many weeks is he out from an actual show that he wants to do?
Just under 5 now to the hard body classic.
Yeah.
Say it's coming quick, isn't it?
Yeah, which I've made his adjustments yesterday. His check-in was yesterday, so I've just pulled him a little bit harder now, pushing the envelope a little bit further just to bring him in a little bit tighter. And he's all sweet, man. He's fucking feeling good still, on a high because he's got the sword. And he's going to move into the hard body. I found out also, apparently, I don't think Alex Kent is doing the hard body as well. I think he's doing a different show just before, and then he's going abroad to do a show or something.
Yeah, he's like 2 weeks out now, Alex, I think.
Yeah, so he hasn't got Alex Kent in his class. I'd be interested to see who turns up in Class C. So they'd have to be, in my opinion, without sounding too biased, because I am obviously Lewis's coach, but I think they would have to be very good in a class to beat Lewis.
How far off a cap is he?
What, Lou?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I can't think of the top of my head. I told you I'm like fucking Dory.
What's he weigh?
Kind of tying this into the universe because Sam still was there. He looked fucking sick. What's going on with him? I've not seen much of him. Is he still going or is he done for the season?
I think he's doing another international one.
I was going to say, I want to say he was doing Poland, but I could have.
So
He went to do Poland and his passport was out of date.
Right, okay.
So he had to just turn around and come home.
Lewis is Class C, and I think he's on the lower end of Class C. So he's like 5'10". So I'm just trying to work out what that is. I'm pretty sure it's 204 or 205 pounds.
Well, it's 195.8, 197.59.
But yeah, 93 kilos is his cap.
Yeah.
He's 85 currently.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, he doesn't look small at all. Like, everything's well developed, man. He's smoking guys that I think he's at that perfect height as well, where you don't really get dwarfed if you've got a bit of muscle and good shape.
Seeing him next to Morgan as well, because like Morgan isn't a small guy. Like I've posed Morgan before. He's not a small guy. And Lewis looked fucking large stood next to him. So it shocked me because I've not really seen Lewis too much in person recently. I have, I've not seen him training, you know. But yeah, it's just mad. I'm excited to see how he does on these next few shows, to be fair.
Yeah.
Morgan definitely like gave him a run for his money though. Because like when they came out, I was like, oh shit. That's when I messaged you. But then when I saw Morgan posing, I was like, oh, hold on a minute. This ain't gonna be the walkthrough that I thought it was gonna be. Like he definitely like kept him on his toes.
Morgan can pose well. Yeah, he looked good. He did look really good. Lewis just had him from the back, man. Like Lewis is, bro, man can deadlift like 300 for 8 fucking reps, man. Can't he, Lewis? Like when he turns to the rear, he's got some thick fucking back. Like,
well,
that's not lacking nothing.
That's what we emphasized as soon as we come out of the natural show. Is one, we push an emphasis into quad development, hamstring development, overall legs and calves, but mainly focusing on posterior chain because his front always looked great. It was bubbly. We just needed to bring up. So I wanted to, you know, get him to continue to doing them heavy fucking lifts he does to just create some dirty fucking lower back and spinal erectors.
I think Morgan would have looked a bit better, like coming in a bit fuller too. Like, you know, like coming flat, coming full, coming like choosing one between the two. I think like Neil said that he was doing like 0 carb for like the last 2 weeks before, right, weren't he? So I think if when he's reached that point and he can now actually feed up into a show, I think Morgan will look his best by far. Look at this shit, man. How old is he as well? 22?
Yeah, 21, 22, something like that.
Fucking stupid, isn't it?
Yeah. You know who made me feel like quitting when I met him in person was Toyton.
Yeah.
Like fuck.
You put in the chat the other day.
Yeah, man. But yeah, the fucking size of Lou, man.
Yeah, he's a big dude, mate.
It's ridiculous.
Very nice proportions on him as well.
So round, so
got lat spread as well, bro. Like, look at that. It's insane.
That's what I was looking for, a back shot.
Yeah, he's a very dense boy. Very, very dense boy. But again, it's shifting heavy fucking weight correctly. Now look at that. That fucking chest press, man. Is always like 140 kilos. He's got 3 plates.
It's like Warner Brothers weights, isn't it?
You know, body power and then that massive fake bar.
Yeah.
He's literally moving that like it's just a bar. Like, what is going on there? I remember when I first see Lewis in Physique Warehouse, and I see him pulling off some stupid shit like that in the middle of the gym, just with like 3 or 4 plates, but just banging it out for like 20 odd fucking reps. I was just looking, thinking, what in the fuck is that? How do you even do that?
It's just so nicely put together, man.
Yeah, there you go. Look at the progress on the posterior chain, bro.
He hasn't even been out of prep for a year since his first show.
The delts, the arms, the lats,
Night and day differences.
legs. Jesus.
Credit to the G.
Yeah, fair play, man. Looks fantastic. And I get it was unlucky for Morgan just showing up with fucking Lewis in your class. If I showed up and Lewis was in my class, I go, oh, for fuck's sake, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of young guys that are just a different breed at the moment. It seems to be just unreal, the level of talent that's arising in this generation. You know, there's a lot of young guys that shouldn't be on stage yet, but there's also a lot of young guys that just seem like they've been forged out of a test tube in the central heart of Chernobyl.
I think right now, like, or recently, you can't really get it wrong, even if you don't have a coach, or probably more so if you don't have a coach. There's so much information out there on designing a correct training program, on a proper PED stack, on everything. Whereas most people that actually get it wrong is because they've got a shit coach.
Yeah,
I agree.
true that. True that.
Last season, I was like, the classes that will continually drop jaws for me is the juniors. They just come out and it's like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Any of you boys fancy a trip over to Poland?
I because I need a big conker cutting out my nipple. So yeah.
Well, I'm not going for the gyno. I'm going in October for Jan. Because
Yeah.
Jan's beating. So I'm thinking of, he wants to do one of the shows, can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a show that's on the Saturday and a show on the Sunday in the same place. So I'm thinking of going out there for that for a long weekend.
Yeah, man.
Sunday is the pro qualifier. I might as well do it.
Well, yeah, you could fucking come and do it, man. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, literally, yeah, you could do the show, do the regionals the day before, pro
October.
qualifier Sunday, man.
I got family out in Poland. It'll be fucking sick.
Kurwa, Wisniaku.
Oh, that's the real for this week. That's the real
Oh,
for this week.
Jeez. Man of many languages, master of none.
Bro, I'm the same and I'm half Polish. I only know how to swear at people.
Jeez. I always like look up how to talk Polish before I start Jan's check-ins, and then I like intro it with like a couple of Polish words. I caught him off guard before because I did banged out like a Polish sentence, and he was like, "Bro, that caught me so off guard." That sentence so bang on. I can't remember what I said now because I literally just briefly looked up it and just interpreted it.
There's a lot of like Z's, W's, which are like,
There's like the thing that
Like roll in
confuses
the
me
back of
with
the throat. Like,
Polish
just
is one word can mean about 50 different things, and it can be put in the context of like another 50 different things. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's confusing, man.
it's similar to like French, where you've got like masculine and feminine versions of it, which can be applied to different things.
What in French?
Yeah, and Polish is the same.
Oh, you got croissant and croissant.
The croissant.
Rate my rigs. Don't know if you want
Oh,
to
yeah,
jump.
I've got a few actually.
I've got a few.
We'll
I've
all
got-
put a box up
we could
today.
We could do questions first and then to rate my rigs to finish off if you want, boys.
I got
Yeah.
no questions, so shoot the questions over.
Oh, bro, no one likes you. Fuck's sake. No questions.
Fuckers.
Christ, bro. That's a liberty.
I've got quite a good question actually. Off Lactic Addict Luke.
Same.
I fucking love that dude, man. This is going to be a good one, and it's probably going to spark some conversation. Who trained the worst when they first started out of us three?
So
mean, Go on, you go first, Brad.
as soon as I went to the gym, I like YouTube intense training, and I stumbled across CT Fletcher. So I was like, right, I basically have to do it until I physically cannot do it anymore, and then just try and do more. So that's basically my style of training. So I was all about training to failure as much as physically possible. Like I'd literally do it until it burned, put it down, I'd be like, oh fuck. I was like, yeah, I think I can do it again. I'll just literally keep going until I was like, right, I think I've done enough of that now. I didn't do like fucking sets or anything. It was just physically until I was like, right, I can't fit the bar up anymore. So I'm now going to go train someone else like chest or legs or something.
That's probably not even a bad way to go about it, being a newbie.
Yeah.
I just didn't eat enough. Like I was fucking pissed.
I remember, I think my training was probably the worst. It's like I had no fucking clue, man. I had no clue about nutrition, no clue about anything. I didn't fucking train legs for like 2 years. Or I just trained chest and delts. The gym I joined was a leisure center, yeah, and you think, oh, they'll have a squat rack, a Smith, a cable. No, man. They didn't have an Olympic bar, they didn't have a squat rack, they didn't have a Smith. They had a cable machine, like a lat pull down machine, a chest press, a pec fly, and dumbbells up to 45 kilos. So like all of our goals out of my lot was just, okay, well, who can bench a 45s first? And that was literally it, mate. And like the nutrition was fucking terrible. I weren't even allowed protein yet. How funny is this as well? My mom and my stepdad wouldn't let me buy protein because they thought it would turn me to steroids.
They was right. They was right.
They weren't fucking wrong, really.
Sitting in your bedroom, racking up lines of whey.
Bro, I remember I went to Holland and Barrett, and do you remember that precision engineered stuff? And it was disgusting. I used to buy tubs of that, and I had my old bed. It was like a double bed, but you remember like the beds from the 90s where you'd be able to slide like a door open, because store stuff underneath. They'd just be like all under my bed and shit, man. Like secret protein shakes. It's funny. But that was literally the extent of my nutrition. Like I knew I had to get protein. I had no clue about diet until literally my first prep. My first prep, I went to Magaluf. I got fucking steaming for a week. And I come back and I was 9 weeks out from a show and I was like 18.4% body fat on the calipers. And I was like, this is going to suck.
Diazide, I saw it.
Yeah.
I was, when I first started the gym, all I had to do is literally just, I ate a sandwich, I took some tests and I put on 20 kilos.
Bro, your gym start story is just fucking.
Yeah.
No, so my training when I first started, I think it was very similar to what you said there, right? Is I started at a place it's a school called Matthew Arnold, a secondary school, and they had a gym in the school, and we used to be able to go in there because it was part of like an everyone active gym. But there was only limited to what there was there, but there was barbells, Olympic bars, we had cables, we had dumbbells. The dumbbells went up to I think 55. So my first goals when I was in the gym was scale weight, see how far I could push it up, and see how far I could progress the dumbbell rack, and see how far I could progress deadlift. So my whole thought process is I think I was training I was just doing like chest, and then I was doing back, and then I was doing an arm day, and I would just do things like that. So like single. But yeah, I worked up to the 55s. I deadlifted up to I think it's close to 240 kilos within the first month, but my back was like an absolute quaver. So yes. And then after that, I actually thought, you know what, I'm going to invest. So I invested $199 in a Kai Green ebook, and then I was Jefferson squatting, did probably about 50 sets of each body part per week with Kai Green's volume. And yeah, that's how that pretty much started for me. But I remember doing crazy shit like sitting sideways on the chest press and pressing like that, to really activate them side fibers and shit. But all that kind of mad shit, to be honest, I was doing.
I remember
so many supersets. Like I remember I would get like a 15 kilo dumbbell, 10 kilo dumbbell, a 5, a 2.5, even a 7.5 as well in between that. And I would do like a set of delt raises to failure. Then I'd do a set of delt raises to failure, and I'd just work all the way down and then go all the way back up if I could. And 21s curls, bro. I used to train
21s with people.
We used to stand in a group of 3, and we used to do the 21s and then throw the bar to the next man, and he used to do the 21s, and then we would just keep doing that until we couldn't do it anymore.
You say that, right? Like it's a funny amateur thing to do. When I went down to John and Sammy's posing set, no, when I hosted the last posing set with Sammy, we all went and trained beforehand. And that's literally what it was. We just fucking trained arms and played 21s with each other, like me, John, Sammy, and some of the other lads that were in it. Got a fat
Bro, the pump you get from doing 21 bicep curls is ridiculous, but it's a lot of blood flow, but not a lot of fucking hypertrophy going on, is it? Like,
I'll put it in perspective at how shit I was when I first joined the gym. So I remember like seeing the incline, like free Olympic bar press. And I was just like, yeah, man, let's do some chest press. And I got pinned by the bar. Like, literally couldn't press the bar. I had to get my younger brother to help me lift it off. And I was like, I'm fucking stuck. And I remember panicking. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that's just really heavy. And I see people doing it with plates. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, what's wrong with me? So yeah, I got pinned by a fucking 20.
We used to, because obviously there's no barbell in my first gym. You didn't even see people deadlift. You didn't see people squat. Or it was just like, you know, I live in a small town, so it was just chavs that did a bit of gear, go in and do chest and shoulders and get big chest and shoulder. That was literally all you seen. I remember like starting chest and like, look at this. You're on about getting pinned. Like my shoulders can dislocate like double jointed. Bro, trying to learn how to do dumbbell flies when you weigh 8 stone 4 and you start the gym and you got no muscle. Every time I would kick it up, it just pop and I just have to drop the dumbbell. Like literally like I was some fucking cripple that couldn't even learn to train properly. It was just, yeah, not good.
I love that.
them guys that just go in the gym, do a couple of sets, and they leave. It creases me up. I've got a friend who won't mind me mentioning him. He's called George Barton. He's a friend that I've grown up with for a long time, and he goes to a gym just close to me. And occasionally I go there. I'll see him come in. He does a set of arms, a set of triceps, and he leaves. He does that every time he goes to the gym. He didn't train anything else, just a little set of biceps, a little set of triceps, and he's gone.
Nice.
You got to train something else.
When I was a PT back at Pure Gym, I was about 20, 21. There used to be a guy every night. It was a tiny town, it was a town smaller than mine. He used to come in the jeans and like a dress shirt, a short sleeve like shirt, train arms, and then just go across the road to the hen house pub and just go out on the piss straight away. Fantastic.
Getting a pump on the Friday, ready to go out for the weekend.
Funny.
Right, as we're on the subject of the big man himself, lactic addict Luke, he said, who's done the stupidest PED protocol before they knew about safer use? Another good one to finish.
I'd say me, but I think it's Brad.
It was me. Like the first one I was ever put on was 700 test, 700 trend, and I'm pretty sure it was like 150 anadrol.
Holy shit. God damn.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
Damn, boy.
Connect 4.
The
Like,
worst thing about it though is like we're on about people like not getting stuff right is you didn't think of doing that by yourself.
yeah, someone told me. I was just like, oh. He was like, well, you want to get big, don't you? And I was like, yeah. Take this then. I was like, okay, cool. I remember fucking chasing myself around the bathroom, like with the pin, like, I was like, good. You know, when you're a kid, like your parent goes to slap your ass and you do that fucking dance.
Yeah. I remember I did the same thing. I did
Yeah, I
the
was
same
like,
thing when I was first trying to pin my glute. It was just getting further away as it was getting closer to my
At least I got to the wall and I was like, I've got nowhere else to go. Like, closed my eye, like stuck it in. Honestly, like it went in the fucking like jankiest angle. And I was like, I'm just gonna fucking plunge it. And I was like, oh,
With a green as well.
yeah, literally.
Yeah, bro. Green pin. The skip-on tube for the first pin.
I haven't done anything like fucking. I have done stuff that's fucking retarded, but just stuff that's very inefficient. Like I've not done anything like a fucking grammar trend. I think it's like the stupidest I've done is I don't know, test as a base, and then like I've used fucking D-ball at the start and then anadrol at the end of it or something like that. That's just not very good for my gyno, is it really, to be honest? Before I even had a clue or a coach kind of thing. So
I think the worst thing about that cycle that I did, you see the progress picture I put up this morning?
yeah.
The fucking tiny guy. That was after I did that cycle. So imagine what I fucking looked like before. Jesus Christ. I hardly had any glutes to fucking pin.
Yeah. I bet you moved the bar pretty quickly after that stack though.
I just wasted all my newbie gains as well. That's it. Like because I just go on the piss all the time, like go out partying all the time. They're like 4 or 5. Well, mate, I only probably look like I lift the past 2 years, 3 years. So you imagine like 6 years before that, I'm just like, yeah, he kind of looks like he goes to the gym. It's not really worth it, is it?
I had a similar kind of thing to you, Brad, with my first exposure. Just told by someone, like I used to go to one of the vitamin shops, the vitamin shop chains, you know, that kind of like the Polish chain of vitamin shops.
Yeah.
And I first walked in one of them, which was in Staines. It's now not there. It's now gone. But when I first, like I say, stepped foot into the gym, I was like, right, I'm going to go and get myself some supplements and that from the shop. I'd walk in there and go to Matey, right, what do I need? Because I didn't have a clue. I was chatting to Joppo about this earlier, actually, on the podcast. But he would just be like, right, you need this, and this, and rack up like £300 worth of supplements. And I was doing that like every month. So I did that for like a good few months. And then after I'd spent about 1,500 quid worth of supplements, he went to me, oh, do you want to try this stuff? And then he took me in the back and showed me some vials of Cystanon. He showed me all these pro hormones, Psalms, Debo he had, Remodex, Clomid. He had all that shit there. And he was like, do you want to use some of this? I was like, yeah, go on. So yeah,
The shit that make your dick soft.
Literally, I jumped on like 500 milligram of Cystanon. I was doing 100 milligram of Debo every day. So I was doing 50 pre-workout, 50 post-workout, just munching them. Sometimes I'd just bang 2 in there just because I felt like I'd get bigger each time I swallowed it. Every psalm you could think of, Rad 140, Osterine, MK677. I just banged all of this shit, man. And yeah, I blew the fuck up, but I was so red to the point where I was looking like an actual oxidated stress walking human being. I was about to pop. Good job I found Joe pretty quickly, because my first blood work was just bad. I'm surprised he didn't come back saying go to A&E. Inconclusive result, go to accident and emergency.
We are lucky that we found people to look after it, and then not only that, but educate ourselves on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Was never good.
It was from that point on there when I realized how serious it was when I got my first blood work. That's when I sort of had a reality check, like, okay, I need to now learn what the fuck these things are that's going in my body, which is the complete opposite way you should do it. But I'm quite glad that I went through that stage of doing this shit first, because now everyone else that comes aboard with me, I can then advise them not to do what I did when I first started taking, because there wasn't that many people there that would guide you. Because I feel like since then, even though it was only 3 years ago now, it was the amount of stuff that's been put out in the last 3 years and people talking about performance enhancing drugs is so much larger range of people to educate himself, as opposed to it was just Big Dave in the gym, or a random Polish geezer in a shop, or just some random dude that you would know who knows a friend.
Like you'd have to even go through forums, and even then, like what was the bodybuilding one? There was like an old
there was like an old steroid forum, wasn't there? Yeah.
bodybuildingsteroid.com or something like that. There was like forums that I'd read, but then I'd be like, is this right? And then other than that, like you say, it would be like back alleys and like gym changing rooms. Like there wasn't really anyone that you could trust.
Luckily,
I was just about to jump on a second cycle as well before I got to Joe, and I remember asking Joe about it. It was a steroid ebook that I bought, which I think I've sent you boys before, which was the John Doe book of steroids. So I spent like 40 quid on this ebook thinking, okay, right, this is going to help me now because I'm going to be able to learn about everything. It's going to be able to provide me with a good stack that I can use. So I was looking at it, and I was pretty sure the stack that I was going to do was the mass stack or something like that. And
they're all programmed in like 12.
All programmed in, yeah. All programmed in, telling you what to do each day. It was like 1,000 milligrams of testosterone. It was like 700 milligram of tren. There was a shit ton of Superdrol in there. And I was just about to do that. And I remember saying to Joe on the consultation, bro, what do you think about this stack? It's just like, absolutely not, bro.
Not. So hard.
If you don't know, you don't know, DR, at that stage. Be so naive to it. And that's why, like I say, it's so good knowing these things now and knowing about performance enhancement drugs and being able to advise people not to do stupid shit.
I was quite lucky that like there weren't much knowledge about him. Like the guy that owned the little bodybuilding gym in Rugeley, he's been around for years. He was such a good body, still is a good bodybuilder, still competed into his 50s. He would like look after the young lads in the gym, make sure you weren't being a fucking retard with stuff, to get on me. Not make sure if someone come in and they were like, yeah, I took 500 trem, what do you think? He'd be like, you're a fucking idiot, then, ain't you? Like you wouldn't, like it'd steer like clear like kids away from it kind of thing. So I was quite lucky with that. But I think on the subject of blood work and stupid cycles, it goes to show actually just how effective a safer use model is. It's not to be a boring cunt, man. Like when I got with Joe, my blood work, I'll say my EGFR was like 38. That's like the Medichecks go, you should go and see a fucking doctor yesterday right now when it's like this. And it's just my blood work, even when I've been on peak blasts of like 2.2 grams, it's got progressively better and better and better every time. So my EGFR is now in range. Like all my blood
stack design. Stack design is everything, man.
100%. I think we can all confirm that we've made more progress on far less than we've probably ever used before. Like
not far less total androgen.
Oh, yeah.
More sensible.
From what I thought was a lot back then was probably my cruise now.
Yeah. but like it's far.
Is Joe just like cock blocking me with gear then? Because I swear my doses are much lower than everybody else's.
No, but I can't even handle like 300 mgs of test on my own. Do you get what I mean? So like if I'd used 600 in the past, it'd be like, well, I can't fucking do that. So it is kind of
my sports TRT that I run is 1.5 grams.
So please, young lads, if you're watching this, that's not what Leon's sports TRT is.
Yeah, if you probably don't know me well enough to know that I'm very sarcastic, and that's how I try to be funny, is being sarcastic. So don't not do 1.5 grams. There's no such thing as a sports TRT, people. It's a made-up term.
Or you can always ask your local dealer for the sports TRT pack and see what it comes away with.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual like going rate is at the moment for these like gyms, like gurus. Because back when it was that generic, you want 600 test, 600 trend, bang some fucking orals, change it up in a couple of weeks, and then we'll go like Deca as well. Like, I wonder what the whole like going rate is at the moment, or have people actually got smarter now and they're not listening to these fucking muppets in the gym?
I think it shows their age in the people. Like, it depends what gym you go in, right? If they're probably 50 years old and been bodybuilding a long time, I don't think they'll have really changed much.
Yeah.
So I had a consult with a new client 2 or 3 days ago. I told you guys, didn't I? The guy's a fucking unit, 48. And his coach is one of those like typical gym bros. He had him on like 4.5 grams total. And I was like, bro, like, no, like, absolutely not. And he was like, oh yeah, I just thought more is more. And I was just like, yeah.
I don't know how someone can physically handle that. Like 2 gram is a lot for me to be on. If it goes a fucking 100 milligram past that, I cannot fucking eat and I just feel shit. Like, to be able to push like that far is ridiculous.
It does get that tipping point, doesn't it? Where you just end up feeling fucking shit. You know you're banging like more gear than what you need because your body's like done. Like moving's difficult, waking up's difficult, eating's difficult. Your body just feels like shit.
I can go like literally, I can eat 1 meal a day, but when you're on that many androgens, I wouldn't even lose weight. And I just literally like feel that fuck that I can't really eat. So yeah.
I got one more question, and if you boys have got any more questions.
No, that was the only question I got.
Okay, I got a question from Thomas Frayne. It says, as a beginner, what split do you think worked best for you? I'm currently doing an upper lower. So what I would say to that is an upper lower is a fucking brilliant split. It's the split that I started on, and it's also pretty much a similar kind of split to what I'm doing now. It's just kind of like a push-pull upper lower modified split. But the real answer to that is, you know, the split that you enjoy, the split that you can fit into your time schedule and that you can do consistently. There's no right or wrong split as long as you can, you know, precisely distribute the volume where it needs to be within that split, and it's not taking up too much of your time. Like, you don't need to train 6-7 days a week for most people. Most people like us, that's a luxury because we have time for that, and we typically do this full time. But when I first started, the first year I was with Joe, I trained for 4 days a week, and I made I put on 70 pounds within the first year being with Joe, and I trained 4 days a week, upper lower.
It's like just given enough time and space for enough volume, enough intensity, enough stimulus, and enough recovery. Like, covering all of those things, you can do whole body splits, one on, one off, one on, one off.
There's literally no best split, is there? It's just the split that you can adhere to and the split that you enjoy. Like, enjoyment should come first with a lot of kind of training anyway. I'm a big advocate of that.
I think 4 days is plenty for a beginner. Because like, man, the stimulus that you need is not a lot. You're going to train hard because you fucking love it. You're really, really interested in it. Your DOMs are going to absolutely kill you for days after. 4 is plenty. Make sure you're getting plenty of nutrition in. And then I think an upper lower is a great way to go about it, because it obviously you're limited to how many exercises you can do in one session. So for instance, like the skill acquisition comes in of learning to do a row properly. It's the only row movement you've got in your plan in that day. Like you're learning to deadlift properly, learning to low press properly, things like that. You can, it's like one thing to focus on at a time. And I think also, like what Leon said, train how you enjoy, man. If you want a fucking big set of arms, train your fucking arms more than you want. Like, you don't have to do what everybody else says. You don't have to, like, you must stick to upper low when you're like at the start. Like, just chuck in what you want, man. And like, I think tracking stuff at the beginning, tracking stuff was something I didn't do for the first years, for years and years and years. And if I did, I'd see where I progressed, and I'd see what things grew, and I'd see what things were lacking, and you can amend your plan from there to how you want to look.
Agree.
For sure. Rate my rigs. Should we
Who
get
have we got?
busted out?
Let's bust it straight out. We've been on a while, haven't we? About an hour.
He's been mentioned a couple of times, but Lactic dropped his rate my rig in the box.
He's dropped it on every YouTube as a comment as well. So
Yeah,
Got to give the man what he wants.
let's bring him on. Single man, review yourself.
can we just point out, yeah, that Luke,
Actually, I'm with someone, so I can't even call him a single man. But here we
No
go.
like it. No like it.
This guy's progress that he has made over the last few years is fucking nuts.
Isn't it? Bro, look at the calves.
he's like 21 and he's natty and he's like 5'4" as well. He
Yeah.
is fucking stacked.
Him and Matt have been doing fucking bits together.
Yeah, they've been such a good combination, man.
His work ethic, not just as a bodybuilder, but as a coach as well. Like, this
Fantastic.
guy's going far.
He's relentless. He's relentless with his content, and it's good content as well.
See what I mean? Like the fullness. This guy's doing fucking bits.
I've got to say, Luke, that the faces that you make when you pose absolutely kill me. Like, look at this one. Go down.
Where we
Like the most muscular in the abs and thigh. The one on the right.
He's training
Every time, Luke. It kills me, bro. It kills me. It's the sun in my eyes one, or the sour tamfastic. It fucking kills me, man. Really.
Have you seen what's that film with Seth Rogen? Is it The Dictator?
That's Baron Cohen, isn't it?
What's the one?
That's,
I can't remember. It's like the interview where he interviews Kim Jong Un.
I don't know.
It's a waste of joke if you've not seen it.
But yeah, the I thought I'd have to just mention the face because it gives me a lot of fun when I see it. But the progress is nuts, man.
Yeah, it's great. He's strong from every angle. There's nothing left.
He's a good poser as well.
Yeah, very good.
He's posed with both of us, hasn't he, right?
Yeah.
Over time. Bro's got the best of both worlds. He's just a keen learner as well, isn't he? I think in every aspect.
If I was 18, yeah, and I was on Instagram and I was looking at young coaches, Luke would be like probably the one I'd relate to really, really well and the best. Like, really, really knows his stuff about training, really knows his stuff about nutrition, knows his stuff about how to manage your life and just actually switch off and enjoy it since being with Matt for the past year and a half. And just a fucking nice guy, man. Pleasure to be around.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Mindset Matt has done him wonders.
Yeah. Who else have we got?
What are we rating his rig?
I've got
He's 21 and natty, or 22 and natty, either way, he's still a junior. 22, like junior and natty, and an amateur. Going into next show as a junior, amateur, natty. 8.5.
I would have said 8.5.
I'd say, yeah, between the 8 and 8.5, yeah. Yeah. I'd be interested to see what he looks like when he diets down next.
Yeah.
To give a real rating, but from the progress and what I'm seeing now and the gaps that he's filled and just the mass that he's put on, it just looks, yeah, it's nuts. Like from that first kid that we see in that first prep, that was, very, very, small, which I'm sure he won't mind saying leading into that first season, compared to now, he's like ate himself for meals 1, to 5. It's like shit.
Literally.
Very good. Bro, last year at FitX, I remember he stood next to Gareth when there was like a training seminar going on. And we were like, I was like, look at Luke's fucking legs, man. And his legs and calves are like bigger than Gareth's.
Jesus. I've got to rate my rig here from Toyton.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
Yeah.
How do you spell his name?
It's T underscore and then EKUNDA. Kundale 03. A photo of a 3/4 double in his profile pic.
This guy's nuts. Most recent.
19 years old.
And natty.
Been training, natural, been training for I think just over 3 years. And look for that for reference, man.
This
Like-
is the one I saw the other day, and I was like, how the fuck?
I'm 104 kilos with the same height, and bro is making me look small. The thing is with Toyton, like, he's just so in proportion, like everywhere. Like his quads, the actual depth to them, to that separation is like, I was just looking at his quads, like, bro, like how deeply separated that is just mad. It's like Flex Roden kind of quad insertions. I was like, shit. The calves, he's got calves as well.
It's just stupid.
The Flex Wheeler biceps on him as well. It's like, fucking hell, bro.
T as a teenage, not just a junior, because in UK the FBA they teen
He's a teen, yeah, 19. He
Teen.
said he could do teen categories this year, but he said it wouldn't really be worth me doing it. And you got to rate that, to be honest.
Yeah,
He's honest with himself. Like,
10. It is a 10.
yeah, 10, man. I don't see
I
it.
could go up next to T in a show and they'd pick him over me. Like
The
he
fact
is
you
that
look
good.
at his physique and go, yeah, bro, that's photoshopped.
Yeah.
Makes the 10. Like the waist is just non-existent. The quads are just absolutely fucking ginormous. And then you put that in proportion to this non-existent weight and upper body, like, yeah,
Nutty.
freaky.
He's such a laid back dude as well. Like he's so quiet in person. Very quiet, very laid back, but just super chilled.
Who else we got?
I've got Cam Underwood.
Oh yeah, he done me as well. So
Same.
yeah, that's, where's a recent rig?
What's that?
I look at Vin Primo, look, at the Fast and Furious release.
Then Primo, what do you mean?
Go up.
Oh here.
Yeah. Look at Vin Primo. Nobody gets in the way of
I
family.
don't know.
Killed me, man. Cam's got a good physique, and he's also made a shit ton of progress, I think, as well, being a Christian.
Mhm.
Since
Yeah.
that
Real solid dude.
FitX show that I did for my second show, and since then he's put on some size.
Yeah. Is he still a junior, Cam?
I'm pretty sure he's still a junior. Yeah.
Bro, where's your chicken shots? I think this is the only one I can really find.
There, pinned at the top.
I didn't know that's old.
Oh, they're old prep ones, aren't they?
There's a fucking recent one, boy. Come on.
Play the game, guys. We said if you want to rate my rig, have a
With a
rig.
recent side chest there.
Oh, it is way leaner as well on the right. Fair play, Cam.
Yeah, chest way improved, arms bigger. His side leg as well. Look at his hamstring, bro.
Mm.
His hamstring is fucking hanging. Thick boy.
Very good junior, man. I think with a little bit more, if you put like £10 more on, he'd be like if he went in any regional, he'd be like in the running a winner.
Pose is nice as well, Cam.
Yeah, very nice fly.
Whatever Christian says, Cam, just double it.
The ghost protocol.
Yeah, I can't find any like recent ones. You guys like story?
I thought that was in then. I was like, fuck
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, hold on a minute. Here we go. That's it.
Yeah, only the ones that we've seen.
What are we rating on based on what we've seen? So I think this is the most recent one.
How old is Cam? I don't know how old Cam is. I'm pretty sure he's like,
Early 20s, isn't it? 21, 22?
Same age as Lewis, ain't he?
yeah, 21 odd.
22,
Yeah.
I think he is. I do think he is a good junior. I think you need a bit more chest and back,
Yeah,
and then I'd rate you up there with like an 8 and 8.5.
I'd say so too. Yeah.
Looking at sort of stuff objectively with like shows and stuff like that. Saying that, man, at the start of this season, you could have walked in like, you know, most regionals and been in the chance of winning as a junior. So you're up there.
Yeah, he's putting on the size. He's putting on the size, that's for sure. I got rating from Derek.
Oh, the flow master himself.
Yep. In my opinion, one of the best posers in the country.
Just about to say, I've always loved his posing.
It's his the way he has like his hands. You know, when you see a good poser with good hands, his actual like hand placements are very, very good.
It's something you almost can't teach people.
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone looks like they got chicken feet. But his transition work, like I think above there you can see one of the routines, man. The transition work and
That's a middle one, Brad.
the difficulty of the transition work is just something else. I remember I watched this in person, man. You got the music?
Just gonna wreck people's ears on audio.
Oh. That transition was sick.
Mm. It's when he stands up now and he reaches into this and the music goes dung, and he turns on the music.
It was just, yeah, all like
So clean.
into the tunes, man. Very fucking good.
It's good. And mate, the progress he's made with you has been fucking disgusting. Like he doesn't even look like the same kid anymore. It looks really, really good.
Every
I'd rate
look, man, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Derek right now getting in a classic. If he did a classic show right now, a regional that judging by the standard that has been, he would win. He would be in the running for it to be very, very close with Lewis. I think Derek in condition at the size he's got now.
Yeah.
I think he is an 8 in his class.
Yeah.
Very good. Very creative with his flow.
He's got on some size, man. Like his arms have blown the fuck up. His legs, like we didn't even put too much volume into them and they've blown the fuck up. The side leg is thick as a motherfucker. But we're currently now running, there you go, recent ones. We're currently running a back specialization for Derek. And we're just looking to blow up the fucking back now, really.
Very nice shape. Just very creative with his flow as well. You don't really see like transitions like what he does.
Look at the most muscular. Nutty.
Yeah,
Very
very
good.
nice.
Very good.
Very complete competitor.
Yep. And that was the goal, just to get the upper body to match the quads, because his quads was always the first thing you looked at. He was kind of known for just quads. But now the upper body is, you know, in sync with them legs. Even though the legs have grown, the upper body is now in sync with it. So now it's just putting a bit more thickness specifically towards lower back, lower lat thickness. And yeah, I think he's going to be a big fucking threat for anyone that he steps on stage with next year.
I agree. I definitely agree.
You got anyone else?
I think that's rocking and rolling.
I've got 2 more.
Hmm.
I've got Scott Optimize, of one of Joe's clients. Scott.optimize.
Fucking love Scott.
Scott's a legend.
The sexiest Scott that we know. Scottish guy.
The sexy Scotsman.
Mm. Bro, how have all these fucking like salespeople helping you fucking scale your business branched out to Facebook now? Shut the fuck up.
I don't know. You know when they tell you how like they're going to get you followers, but they have like 4 followers.
Yeah, shut up. Then you don't answer and they're like, hello, Ryan.
Oh yeah, I do know Scott. I've seen him at a few seminars.
Yeah, it was at the Physique Collective seminar.
Yeah.
His arm thickness, so like at the back as well. Look at that rear lat spread.
Very good
A
back.
lot of progress recently.
Very,
Has
very
he ever
good.
competed before? I don't think he has he?
No, he did a photo shoot.
He did very,
last
very well, man.
I think he got lean for a photo shoot, took some good photos. I posed him for that as well. And obviously he's on my posing package for this year too, for this season.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going in for a first timers.
Yeah, I think so. He looks really good, man.
Yeah.
Like just the way the obliques and the rib cage sit and everything in that classic shot, he hits them very quite good, man. Very well balanced, mate. For a first time that's never been on stage.
He said on here as well. So probs early into prep to get the rig analyzed. Be nice about the lack of legs.
But mate, I'm not really seeing much of a lack of leg. I think his legs are good.
Yeah, he looks in nice proportion, mate. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Stage worse legs than that, bro. Don't you worry.
There's definitely worse legs, you know. If we're looking, you know, everyone.
Oh, let's hold our tongue before we say anything about bad things on stage.
Everyone wants to improve, right? But if you're going at it as a first time stepping on stage, it's a very, very good rig.
Yeah, mate. If Scott, if I seen you, like, you know, when you're like 5 weeks out and you're pretty peeled, I was a first timer, I'd see it and think, oh fuck, I'd like worry about you being on a class, man. I think you got a good rig. I think for the first time it's an 8. Like, we know how Joe's going to bring you in. You're going to be in condition, looking fucking sick.
Yeah,
you're going to be in one of the top spots for sure.
If he posed his legs slightly differently, he's got bigger legs than what he's giving himself credit for. Look at the adductor overhang. If he took a little bit of a wider step and gave a bit more space, then they'd sweep out more. So he's definitely got more leg than what he's showing.
Yeah, we're going to sort that with him. I think the biggest thing with Scott is remembering foot placement and where the feet need to be within poses. But once we get through, like I say, he's not even really started the actual sessions on his package this year. So once we get them running, his posing is going to be bang on. But if I was to give you a full-on critique, you know, just for, if that's obviously what you're asking for, is, yeah, as you said, you know, maybe a bit more quad, a bit more hamstring from the side. As you know already, because you mentioned it, man. But like I say, as Ryan said, if I was a first timer looking at you leading into a show, I'd be threatened.
Yeah. Agree. I agree.
Nice to everybody today, haven't we?
Hey,
We've been nice to everybody today, haven't we? On Rate My Rig.
we have.
The rigs, we haven't had any shit.
I got one more rate my rig. And that's Nathan Transcend, another one of Joe's guys that is absolutely
So I can tell you when I'm looking, Nate's rig is
absolutely blown up.
It looks
like
fake. It looks fake. It looks like it's made of plastic.
he's Action Man-esque, isn't he?
and he's always so fucking peeled.
His glutes just had lines in since he competed all for the off season.
Literally,
His glutes are massive, but they don't go like diamond down the leg. So it looks like a big black lady ass, but then they're fucking sliced. It's dead.
He's got bunda, man.
Yeah, look at it.
Joe sent this earlier, and I was like, I knew his transformation was wacky, but that is just fucking unreal, isn't it?
He's got such a good chest as well. He's so thick through the chest, but look at the just growth overall. It's crazy.
I think we're competing against each other again this season as well. But I think he said he's not sure if he is going to go for classic or.
Look at the calves, bro.
But he won the Open in his PCA first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he said he was going to potentially do a little bit of classic as well, but that fucking difference is nuts, isn't it?
I think he's got, like, he asked me as well, like, what I thought, whether he would be classic or bodybuilding. He's got a physique where he could do both.
Yeah.
I genuinely think if he wanted to do classic, it's just, you know, changing the posing to suit for classic in certain poses and getting them classic poses nailed. But he just got such a nice, bubbly structure. He would do well in either.
Yeah, it's got one of those structures where it's like it's so nicely in proportion and round that it's like a threat to open guys. Do you get what I mean? Like it just people are going to watch that in an open lineup where a physique is maybe not as pretty or something like that, and then they'll see it and be like, "Holy fuck," because it's so bubbly.
The thing that I love about him as well is just such a genuinely humble guy as well. Like, has no idea how good he is, has no idea the potential he has. He's just like, just so fucking placid and easygoing, but at the same time, a fucking danger to anyone who's stepping on stage with, but doesn't even realize it. I remember when I first saw him do his first time at the PCA, I was with one of my clients in the crowd, and I was like, bro, wait until he turns around. He literally turned around and just like switched his glutes on. It was just like, good night. Like, it was fucking ridiculous.
Savage shift you put in, man. Savage shift you put in since that last show.
Yeah.
He's only not been natty for about 2 years as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going in with a 9. I think it's that fucking impressive. Like,
Yeah, me too. Man.
every shot is just fucking clean.
I look at the back growth as well, man. That rear relaxed is fucking naughty.
I think when you do your like quarter turns and you look that aesthetically pleasing, it's hard to not have a good rate by rate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. He looks nutty, bro.
Yeah.
Nutty.
But like, if you go to the real lat spread, if you literally put like 15 more pounds on, it'd look like Nave Heckles.
Bro, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I was just about to say he looks like a compact Leif Heckles. The same, like, same glutes, the same bubbliness, the same skin texture. The fuck?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I'm going with a 9.
Yeah, I've got to give Nathan a 9. And I'll give him a 9.5 because he's a legend.
Yeah.
He's straight up there, mate. He's very, very good.
We've been very nice today, haven't we, on this podcast?
Everyone's
feel
actually great there, actually.
I
Everyone.
feel like on the next one we need to roast some motherfuckers.
Yeah, should we send your rig in if you think you're a 6 or below? And we'll go absolutely in. We'll just do rate my calves next time or rate my arms.
Rate my calves. Bruh.
You get Dean Phillips coming with his fucking monstrous blue Belgians.
I don't think there'll be many entries on there on rate my calves.
Yeah, we'll do rate my arms. Everyone will send their arms in. I'll be savage on rate my arms.
Yeah.
I won't be sending mine in. You have to go easy.
Shut the fuck up. Yours look like they've been synfold. They're stupid.
They have, bro. Aldi vegetable oil is cheaper than synthol.
Wrap.
I think so, man. I don't think we've got anything else funny to say, have we?
No, I've got no more rate my rigs, no more questions.
We've winged this quite well today, considering we were very prepared.
I'm also going hypo, so I need to eat something before.
Yeah, bro, I'm holding on like just about for a piss.
Yeah. I can feel myself deflating. I looked at Brad's face, and he's just like looking at the floor, like, yeah, it's we're both like there. It's
that point where I'm like, I've almost got to pinch it because I need to piss that bad. But then
tie it in a knot, bro. Just tie that thing in a knot.
Mate, you gotta do the water balloon. Just hold the end till you can't.
That's why I'm leaning on my chair. I'm like,
there we are. What did we have last time? And this time we got a piss.
Wow.
Right, guys, that is a wrap.
That is a wrap. Thank you all for watching. Comment below if you enjoyed it. And we'll see you on the next one.
Much love, my people. Peace.
That's a delayed one.
Yes, because I'm at the end of the call instead of
some technical difficulties, everybody. So thank you everyone for watching, and goodbye.